Well, thank you so much for coming today, guys. I'm so excited to get to have this conversation with you. You know, as I look around the table, you've all been a part of our church for different amounts of time. But I love it because you've all made the decision to trust God with your finances. And, you know, I think often it can be easy for people, if they hear someone talking about giving, they may think, oh, that's great for them. There's all those reasons people can think that it might be easy. But I know more often than not, that's not the case. I would love to hear from each of you just a little bit about yourself and how you're connected in our church.
Yeah, so Keith and Julie Roach, we've been coming to Elevation probably for about, I guess, 9 years now. And we moved down from Greensboro at the time. Our daughter was attending the location at the YMCA. She got us watching online, and shortly after, a few months later, we moved down here.
I started attending Elevation in 2019 online back home in Nigeria. It's like every day I tuned in, Pastor had a word specifically for me. In 2021, I decided to go for my grad school when I was done. So I said, okay, I was going to come to the US, but I was particular about coming to a place where I had an Elevation campus. So I found out there was a campus in Greensboro. So I came down to Greensboro in 2021.
We started watching online, I think it was about January of 2020. We live in the DMV area. My friend tells me, you should, we're looking for a church, we couldn't find one. He goes, you should try Elevation. It's in North Carolina. I was like, I live in Maryland. And I hesitated. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna turn my TV and feel like it's church. Long story short, this is my place of worship.
I assume too, when it comes to giving, for you, you may not have started giving immediately as soon as you were a part of Elevation. I want to hear a little bit about that process for each of you. What that looked like as you started giving, how you talked about it within your family to begin. Tell me more about it.
Tithing was always one of those things that we struggled a little bit at the beginning.
Early on, you're flipping a 20 in the bowl that's being passed and things like that, but wasn't really doing the tithing thing. And then it was kind of like, you know, you get your income, and then it's like you pay bills and you do all these other things, food, and you say, what's left for God, right? And the way you kind of step off the cliff, if you will, is to make sure that you're giving God your first fruits, which means when you get that income, make that first 10%, as scary as it is, because yeah, it does. It's not an easy thing. There's anxiety, there's fear, and God's faithfulness it always was there.
When we started actually giving, because of the pandemic, I wasn't working, so it was just, you know, his income.
There was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of fear. So then I'm like, if we start giving, then how are we gonna take care of everything else? We prayed and we gave. There was no food missing at the table. All the bills got paid. People say, oh, I'm trusting in God, I'm trusting in God. If you truly trust, if you put your trust in Him, He is not going to fail you, because He never does.
You know, every year we head into our year-end season, and as a church we come together, we align around the year that's to come, but also through this principle of trusting God in a new way, through sacrificial giving, through tithing. I want to hear from you guys, because this is such an important season as we're picking a word. Tell me about that process for each of you.
Year-end is special for us. It's super special. It wasn't something that like Julie and I were used to. I mean, people bringing their offering, you know, during the worship experience. You can see the people, you know, like the trust that they have, because you know how much prayer and everything went into that as they give something beyond their tithe. So
I feel so much joy coming from having experienced Elevation online, because without giving, most likely Pastor Steven will not be able to get to me in Nigeria, because I see how much Elevation outreach is reaching people. And the outreaches are not just in Charlotte or in North Carolina, even outside America. So I see people being blessed, even in my continent, in Africa, I see people being blessed through Elevation. And that is why it means so much to me. I don't think there is anything I would rather give my money to than something that promotes so much love.